Dugan and Graham, two different styles of play. Dugan more of a perimeter kind of face-up guy, and Graham more of an in the paint, back to the basket guy.
Two teams that were separated by a point all of a year ago. This is Arengern.
Offensively, Campbell coming out man-to-man. They're going to play kind of a sagging man-to-man, trying to protect the paint. Hofstra offensively trying to attack and get in the paint with their penetration.
And they take their time. Not exactly the fastest tempo in the country for the Pride.
No, this is a slow pace. And every possession is at a premium when you don't push the tempo very much.
Top scoring defense in the conference for the Pride, as well as field goal percentage, D. There was Graham on the glass. A little quicker this time. Gadsden set up for the three. And Sinani quickly down with the rebound for Campbell.
Hofstra will come out in man-to-man as well. They switch everything 1 through 4, sometimes 1 through 5. And offensively, this is a very disciplined offensive team in Campbell. They run a kind of a Princeton style of cutting, back cuts, and spacing.
This is Dugan, double figures in what's 9 straight games, deep in the clock. Walsh, sub 29% three-point shooter, maybe not his shot. Kevin McGeehan, former Chris Mooney assistant at Richmond. In his 12th season as the Campbell head coach, part of the transition over from the Big South.
Spent 8 seasons as an assistant at Richmond. He's got a wealth of experience and played for a coach for a lot of really good staffs.
And speaking of Princeton-style offenses, the Spiders can frustrate you. Shot clock cut in half here for Hofstra. Penetrate pitch, Plotnikov, who can hit that, and is one of their energy guys off target.
They got a good shot. The ball movement is there. They're just still trying to find the bottom of the rim.
And speaking of right idea, Gregory was trying to find Walsh, turns it over. Now, Speedy Claxton doesn't look 46 years old. 4th season on the bench here on Long Island. 3 consecutive of 20-plus. But not necessarily unfamiliar territory. They started slow in NCAAB play last year, 1-3, but imperative to play a full 40 minutes. That's what he's been talking about.
First off, he's done a great job as the head coach of Hofstra, trying to get his 3rd straight 20-win season. And he's still figuring out his team. You know, when we talked to him before the game, he said, I don't know my team yet because it's a brand new team. Nice drive there by Davis and a follow-up by the big man Graham. But, you know, when you, in the era of college basketball now, you're building teams, not programs. And, you know, that takes some time. Sometimes it takes maybe a month or so, and a nice drive here by Davis who's become more aggressive. This has been the biggest change in Hofstra's backcourt. When he gets the ball and attacks like he did in the last game when he had 28 points versus Delaware, he was just dominant, and it was within the flow of the game, Matt, which is what I liked. He didn't overly push the tempo, but he picked his spots, and it's very clear when him and Arengern are aggressive, they're a very good team, hard to stop in the backcourt.
Well, feels like a noon start. These two teams that combined 0 for 7 from the field, Tariq.
Yeah, slow tempo. I mean, they're both filling each other out. And those early games, coaches always worry about those because they're worried about teams coming out flat. Early wake up.
The 78% free throw shooter Davis helping the cause, got his 2. Hofstra comes up with a stop here. You remember going back-to-back on the road in college? How hard was that?
That wasn't hard at all. I mean, I think it's overly exaggerated. I mean, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you know, playing as much as we played, you know, sometimes you play 2 games a day in AAU. So I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Certainly you want to get your rest and be prepared, but it's not a big deal to me.
You had a pretty good cast of characters. And speaking of supporting cast, Nolan Dorsey, 2-time transfer from New Mexico and Holy Cross, gets Campbell on the board with a triple.
He's an important piece of their team, more known for his defensive side of the ball, but he can stretch the floor and knock down those threes when he gets his feet set.
23rd 3 of the year for Dorsey. Campbell the early lead here.
Offensively, Hofstra trying to play through the paint. As you can see, it's either dribble penetration or a post-up. They haven't been able to convert, but that is Hofstra style basketball.
And Dugan taking a tumble, foul away from the basketball on Hofstra.
Here's Nolan Dorsey with a little dribble handoff. This is a set play. It's kind of a screen and pop. And Graham didn't respect his range and played off of him, and he just read the defense and knocks down a stretch three.
Here's Dugan, who's really turned up his play since conference play started. Zerlini with the kick out. Sinani shot ready. Thought he was going to get the friendly bounce back in.
Good looking shot by Sinani, unable to convert, but he is their starting point guard and their floor general on the court.
Gadsden, little contortionist there. Sinani down with the rebound. Dorsey running the floor, left the finger roll right on the front of the rim.
You got to convert those because they don't get a lot of transition opportunities. Nice push, just came up a little short.
Davis penetrating pitch. Aranguren, there it is. Shoots almost 37% from the outside. Hofstra back in front.
I mean, he's a big-time player and more known for his downhill driving style, but when he gets a wide-open three, Speedy wants him taking those shots. Between him and Davis, they have a really talented backcourt.
Shot clock cut in half here for Campbell. Dorsey feeling pretty good. Already knocked one down, followed his own miss.
Good hands by Davis with the deflection. This is when they want to try to push tempo off of steals and rebounds.
Graham deep under the basket, got the offensive rebound. That's what he does.
Well, he is a workhorse down low, and I think he feels like he can have a big game today because this Campbell team doesn't really have a guy with that size and strength down low, even though Dugan is a big guy at 6'7", he's a little undersized.
But they get after it on defense.
And that's what they hang their hat on, talking to Speedy. Defensively, they have big guards. Davis at 6'3", and Aranguren at 6'4". They can allows them to switch out on bigger opponents because of their length and their aggressiveness.
Eric Vanderheyden off the bench for Campbell, just threw that in the backcourt. And third turnover for the Camels.
Not a good start for the Camels with the turnovers, and Hofstra certainly trying to capitalize off of those extra possessions. This is a possession game. When you have a slow tempo style of offense like Hofstra, every possession matters a little bit more.
And smaller deficits mean much more, right, in a game like this.
Absolutely.
4 probably feels like 7 or 8.
Yep. Shot clock winding down here.
Aranguren with it down to 5, gonna go off the bounce, lost the basketball. Graham, they're not gonna get one off. Tied up anyway. It's either the shot clock violation first or the tie-up.
That was a nice job by Campbell with their help side D. When Aranguren gets the ball, you have to have help off the wings and get in the gap because he's such a good penetrator. He wants to get into the paint. And that was a nice job of just kind of stunning defensively to distract him and get the ball down the paint.
Camels trying to sweep Long Island. Looking for the first weekend sweep in the CAA this season in conference play. Hammered Stony Brook the other night. 3 straight games of 40-plus points to paint. Dugan has been a big reason why. Zerlini left that up on the glass. And Graham right there for the rebound.
Everything challenged defensively by Hofstra, and that's why they're such a good defensive team. Nice pass.
And Graham alone on the block right off the window.
And that's the vision by Davis. Very good point guard, always looking for his teammates. He's a dual threat because he can score it, but he can also be a great playmaker and make the right pass.
7-0 run now, extending the last 2.5 minutes. Loyola Marymount transfer Graham with 4, and matching this, Vanderheyden, the bucket and the line.
Nice job by Vanderheyden, 6'9" senior. Kind of a delayed screen and roll, and was patient with the shot fake, waited for the contact. Going to the line.
Now a couple of personal fouls on TJ Gadsden, has to sit down early. Eric Vanderheyden, Raleigh native, No surprise, he eventually ended up at Campbell, 30 miles south of the Triangle. And plenty of new faces for Kevin McGeehan's roster. Terran Frank has been out for an extended period of time. He's their third leading scorer. Missed the last few games with a dislocated finger, had to have surgery. But they're looking forward to getting him back potentially as early as next week.
He's a big part of the team and gives them some size and some girth down low.
And Frank's absence also part of the reason that the Campbell staff points to the emergence of Dugan. Just felt like he's had to.
Yeah, he's had to. And he's had to become even more active offensively, and he's done that, particularly the last 9 games.
Hofstra trying to set up a little high-low. The Iona transfer Sunday, the big body, missed the jump hook. Gregory with the shot clock cut in half. Just a 2-for-9 start for the Camels so far. Down to 10 to shoot. In a game that both these two teams could use. Deep in the clock, Anzerlini has started over 2.
You see that disciplined defense by Hofstra, not going out to challenge with fouling, in position, feet set.
Plotnikov using the shot fake, foul on Gregory in the corner.
Senior German Plotnikov has been a really important role player for the Pride, coming off his season high in points versus Delaware. As we look at Terran Frank, a 6'8" forward for Campbell. We're hoping to get him back, as we mentioned earlier. Missed the last 8 games.
Yeah, if you were a little kid around the time we were, collected basketball cards, his dad Tellis, longtime NBA vet, late 80s, early 90s.
Sloppy play there, turnover, and Silas Sunday not strong with the ball.
There's Dugan, and Sunday says it's always the weekend. Blocked it out of bounds. Hofstra, the early 4-point lead.
Testament to the Hofstra program and their players and coaching staff to spend that kind of time with that young man.
And Logan, we're glad to have you here, buddy. You keep fighting. Cruz Davis here in the backcourt. And what's been a Saturday is, I believe it was the late John Chaney used to say, in the mud.
Yeah, this is not a great flow. You know, Campbell 2 of 11 to start, 1 for 5 from 3. And Hofstra not much better, 3 of 11. And when you're struggling to score the ball, a good way to get yourself going is to drive and get fouled. And that's what Davis did there. Nice job. And you know, Cruz Davis, super talented. I saw him play the first time at St. John's, and he stood out to me because of his ability to change speed, smooth lefty, got good size at 6'3". Unfortunately, he was injured last year, and now he's healthy, and he's playing great basketball.
And followed Rick Pitino over there from Iona.
Yep.
And all his points today coming from the free throw line.
Well, he's a talented point guard, and he can play different speeds. He's a lefty. He's smooth. He can step back and shoot the 3. He can catch it. He can shoot it off the catch or the bounce. And in the last game versus Delaware, they were daring him to shoot going under every screen, and he just made them pay and had a huge game with 28 points.
4 for 4 from the line today for Davis. Has allowed Hofstra to get this 6-point lead. Whistle away from the ball.
Call that on Robinson with the hold. Cheap foul, but he did hold.
That's the sophomore from Apopka, Florida, Keyshawn Robinson.
Yeah, and I'd like to see if Dugan can get himself going. He's such a good scorer. He can score with, by moving without the ball or attack a closeout, but he's been quiet. You got to give Hofstra some credit too, because they know he's at the top of the scouting report, and they've been paying close attention to him, not helping off him.
Anybody his body type or maybe his game reminds you of?
Not especially. I mean, he's kind of an undersized forward.
He just took a shot. Yeah, he just took a shot on that turnaround, holding his lower back.
That's not good. Oh, he caught a elbow, not a dirty play, but he caught a forearm to the back from Robinson.
Our officiating crew this afternoon, Tyler Sandman, Chris Slattery, and Robinson.
Wind out of him.
And Dugan and Campbell having a tough time getting going. Nice to see him walk off in his own power.
Well, he's such a big part of their team. You know, shot 71% from 3 on Thursday in their last game versus Stony Brook. 27 points, 11 of 14, 5 of 7 from 3. And he knows that, you know, he's got to carry a large burden of the scoring. It's really him and Jason Sinani as the two primary scorers.
And both of them held scoreless thus far.
A run and jump here.
And right attacking it, Plotnikov off the bounce.
And that's good recognition by Plotnikov. The defense continued to retreat. So what does he do? He attacks the basket. And the thing about Campbell is they don't really have any rim protection, so he can get to the rim.
Now an 11-2 Hofstra run, but quelled with Vanderheiden. Little seal on the block and off the window.
Well, Dugan's out of the game, so where are your points going to come from in the paint? Vanderheiden has to be one of those guys to create some offense.
And 4 off the bench for Eric Vanderheiden, two-time transfer from UNCW and Ole Miss. Hofstra picking it up after that 0-for-6 start. They work it to Farmer, and the Philly native obliges from the outside.
Oh, it's good catch and shoot with the reverse pass, and that's another good look by Davis, and a nice looking shot by Farmer.
Comes from a really good program, Roman Catholic in Philadelphia.
Will Farmer, who has emerged as, well, here's Plotnikov with a nice drive. And then a nice cross-court pass and a catch and shoot by Farmer, who's really emerged as someone that they can depend on for offense off the bench.
A couple of his high school teammates playing in the Atlantic 10 for St. Joe's. Anthony Finkley in the rotation, and then Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year, Xavier Brown. Love to have those 3 guys on your high school roster. Gregory fell down, but the shot clock winded down. Sinani, and didn't get it off. No, got hit first.
That's a bailout foul. Speedy not happy with that because the shot clock was pretty much expired.
And I think that's what he's trying to say.
We didn't really get to see the foul.
So non-shooting foul before Sinani let that go. Hofstra, though, off to a decent start since having a tough time shooting the ball. Sinani had to really work for that rainbow.
Yeah, he did, and he's got to probably be a little more aggressive now that Dugan's out. He is their other double-figure scorer, averages about 13 points, and an experienced veteran senior point guard.
Now Campbell had started 2 of 12. Camels have made their last 2. Robinson, open triple for him. It's Sunday, just has to plant the cement shoes in the middle of the lane. One-handed rebound.
He is a load. 7 feet, 280. Hard to move him off the box, and he's much stronger than anyone there. It probably requires 2 people to keep him off the glass with his strength.
There's a guy sitting next to you that was a pretty good offensive rebounder, if I remember right.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. I forgot his name, but my wingman, Don Hamilton.
Sitting right next to us, observing the broadcast today.
St. John's legend. Thinking about getting into broadcasting. He better not take my job.
Sunday with the turnaround. Not a whole lot of lift, but it doesn't matter.
Well, Sunday is a guy that you can dump the ball down to in one-on-one coverage. He's very comfortable with his back to the basket. The only guy that's close to him is Vanderheiden, 6'8". Another steal by Hofstra. Campbell having a tough time taking care of the ball.
Robinson in and out. Dorsey down with the rebound. Pace picking up a little bit. Hofstra still enjoying that largest lead. Dorsey already has 1-3. Gregory setting. Sunday down with the rebound.
Yeah, everything is tough for Campbell right now offensively, and they haven't been able to get out in transition, so there's been no easy baskets. Hofstra's defense has made them a half-court team.
And not sure, looking over at the bench, Speedy Claxton was too happy with the quickness of that release from Davis that early in the clock. Sinani. And Davis down with the defensive glass for the Pride. Two teams a combined 10 for 33.
Nice.
Davis, that'll help the cause.
It was the reading of the defense, the changing of speeds, and the hesitation dribble, using that ball screen to perfection. And Davis very comfortable, loves driving to his right.
To generate his offense.
Well, every year is different, and this is a year where he's got big guards, and he really is taking advantage of that and allowing them to get out and switch on the perimeter, get out in the passing lanes. They can get deflections. They're disruptive with their length, and that has certainly helped them in terms of containing the ball and not getting beat off the dribble.
I'm saying, though, they mirror the way he was as a player.
Well, he was a point guard. He was a scoring point guard, and he was a guy that could play on or off the ball. And I wouldn't say defense was a strong suit, but as a coach, he's evolved into a well-rounded guy that understands both sides of the ball.
I remember him having quick hands. I do on the defensive end. Do remember that. Could get hands in the passing lane.
I mean, you're right. But when most people think of Speedy Claxton, they think about his playmaking, his ability to score the ball and be a playmaker. That's what got him into the league. Had a long career in the NBA.
Over 2,000 career points, still in the top 10 all time. And they've had some good ones over the years. 6 of the last 9 CAA Players of the Year. Plotnikov missed the turnaround. Zerlini, nice backdoor. Tassos Cook off the bench with a bucket.
Well, that's a big part of this Campbell offense, spacing and cutting, particularly that back cut. And Cook set it up by acting like he was going to pop out to the perimeter and got right behind the defense for the easy layup.
Last 4 points by way of the Camels have shaved this 11-point deficit down to 7. And have been much more efficient. 4 of their last 6 from the field. Davis lost the basketball. And we'll stay at this end after it went out. And again, last touch by the Pride.
This Hofstra team playing much better offensively, but Campbell starting to get their spacing right. And here's a good example of that, a nice back cut by Cook. And the spacing and the pass was on point.
Zerlini lost it. Plotnikov ripped it away. Graham trying to use that girth, got it stripped, but right into the arms of Aaron Gurin.
Nice cut.
That shuffled the feet first.
They're trying to play through the post, and that allows them to get cutting off the ball. Davis did a nice job getting into open space, but shuffled his feet for the travel.
You know, talking about the Pride's defense before, who was the best defensive team you saw when you were playing?
UConn. It was definitely UConn. Jim Calhoun, they had a suffocating defense, and it was always a battle from start to finish. That's what made them such a good team.
Thinking around Rip Hamilton time?
No, he was a little after us. It was Ricky Moore, Ray Allen.
Yeah, Deron Shepard.
Nope, I didn't play. It was Ray Allen, Kevin Ollie, who was a pest. I mean, he was in your jersey as soon as you got off the bus, picked you up full court. Khalid El-Amin was another good player.
Won a national title.
Yep, a lot of good players at UConn.
Davis back to the line. 4 of his 6 points have come from the stripe. Perfect 5 for 5 is Cruz Davis.
Cruz Davis from Texas. Plano, Texas. His favorite player is De'Aaron Fox. Also a lefty. Quick, Also from Texas, De'Aaron Fox. So it's a good guy to follow. Got good size, Cruz does, at 6'3". And you can just see he's playing at a different level confidence-wise. Speedy trusts him, wants him to pick his spots but be aggressive. It gives him a lot of rope to just play free. That's one of the things why so many guards have thrived under Speedy Claxton's offensive system.
Hofstra capitalizing with some points off turnovers. In and out for Campbell. Plotnikov bumped by Dugan. Nice to see him back on the floor for the Camels at least.
Welcome sight. Dugan is so important to this Campbell squad, and his leadership, his scoring has been missed. He hasn't really gotten in his rhythm, but doesn't take much for him to get going.
Started 0 for 3, but only played 6 minutes. Nice drop off. Graham with a two-handed punch.
Well, a great cut by Graham. And then again, Davis with the vision and the ability to deliver that pass, what makes him such a good guard.
6 early for Michael Graham. Back to the double-digit pride lead. That went through Dugan's legs. Plotnikov out on the run. Little Euro. And over the front of the rim.
Plotnikov trying to get this crowd excited. Nice transition play by him, the senior.
Largest lead now for Hofstra. Dugan says, I'm tired of this.
He should be, because it hasn't gone his way yet, but he looks like he's in pain, but he's pushing through it. Nice job playing in the mid-post.
First bucket of the afternoon for the second leading scorer in conference games. Dugan, penetrate pitch here. Farmer, and his second three.
Great shot, but again, it's Davis creating the shot. The penetration, he continues to get in the paint, and until Campbell can keep him in front, they're going to have a long day, because Davis is just carving him up.
8 points, 6 assists, 1 steal for Davis.
Many steps. After he finished playing, he scouted. And then he was an assistant coach under Joe Mihalik at Hofstra for a long time and learned. And he was patient in his growth, and now he's the head coach doing a great job.
Seems to work out well for the guys that wait their turn.
It's not easy. Some guys don't want to wait their turn.
Oh, yeah?
They want to just go straight to the head job, and a lot of times it doesn't work that way.
It's the world we live in, my friend.
That's right. I think they called a moving screen there.
Yes, they did.
That was on.
It's on Plotnikov.
So Hofstra's controlled this game, and the way they've controlled it is on the defensive end. They have pretty much held Campbell in check. Campbell's only shooting 33% from the field. Everything has been very difficult for them in terms of offensive flow. And on the other side, Hofstra's been able to get good dribble penetration, and Cruz Davis has been the real catalyst for that.
Arenguren doing a good job on Dugan, making it tough for him to get the ball. Gregory capable of scoring, just hasn't done much of it. Arenguren, and look at Plotnikov jump in the passing lane. And coast to coast.
Hofstra scoring off the defense. Just a great read by Plotnikov, just shooting the gap. And defensively, Hofstra is really locked in.
6 now for German Plotnikov, driving the energy bus for the Pride. Dorsey willing his way to the free throw line.
German Plotnikov is really developing into that X-factor kind of player. Does a lot of the little things, but also a third scorer, for this Hofstra team. You know what Arenguren and Davis are going to do, but when you have him playing the way he is, it's just another piece to the puzzle.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll send it to our New York studios. Join Adam Zucker, Clark Kellogg, and Wally Zerbiak. It's a busy day here on CBS Sports Network. First of what is 5 games. Alongside the former St. John's guard, Tariq Turner, Matt Martucci. Glad to be spending this early Saturday with you. Hasn't been the most fun on leg 2 of Campbell's Long Island trip. And Dorsey on the front end left it on the rim.
There's a little token pressure. Trying to work some clock and try to get the ball out of Davis's hands.
Correction, 1 for 2 trip there for Dorsey. Penetrating pitch, already a couple from that corner. And Farmer wants one more.
Yeah, they're going to have to make an adjustment, Campbell is, because Farmer very comfortable in that corner. And again, they're looking for him. The skip pass and the spacing by Farmer allowed them to get a perfect 3 to extend this lead.
9 for Khalil Farmer, more than halfway toward a career high. Graham rescued that one off the 10. Already 7 rebounds in the first half for Michael Graham, doing what he does.
That's right. He is a rebounder and shot blocker.
And kick out this time to Joshua Decady, who's getting some earlier minutes. Played a little bit in the blowout over Delaware. 2 teams that hammered their last opponent. Hofstra trying to win consecutive conference games for the first time since CAA play started this year. And Campbell trying to win a 3rd straight Sinani. First time we've really called his name.
Well, they need more of that. This is his 2nd shot. He's been quiet. A lot of that has to do with the way Hofstra has jumped out on those switches, not giving him any clean looks. That was the first clean look he's had in a while.
And now a little 1-2-2.
Nice hands there.
And it works. The leak out, Zerlini. And that should be off Hofstra. And it is. Last touch by Cruz Davis.
Nope, that's going back to Hofstra. That was off of the big guy,
Zerlini. I thought he'd knocked it off of Davis, and they had initially signaled Campbell basketball. But we're going down.
We're back in that 1-2-2.
They work it to the baseline. Robinson with the shot clock cut in half. About 20 seconds worth of shot clock, game clock differential inside of a minute. And there's Graham.
And you saw what he did. He felt the defense, and he just spun right off of Vanderheeden. And Graham has been huge with a big performance, not just scoring the ball, but on the glass as well, on his way to a potential double-double.
And 8.7 rebounds. That was his 2nd dunk of this afternoon. Winding down the first half, final 10 seconds. Dorsey. Gregory. Fouled here on the arm. And Speedy Claxton not going to be thrilled about that. Looking over at Cruz Davis saying, why?
Yeah. They did everything right except the last part. Davis hit him on the elbow. And it was highly unlikely that Gregory was going to make that shot, but now you send him to the line for 3 foul shots. You know, you get a bailout 3-point foul shot, a 3-point foul, and now you get a chance to make 3. That could give them a little bit of some confidence if he can make these 3 going into the half.
Now Gregory's 78% free throw shooter, and feels like a microcosm of the woes today. Just a tough first half all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the kind of half you would envision for Kevin McKeon, and going into the halftime with 19 points is not ideal, particularly on the road.
So Gregory only 1 for 3.
1.3 is enough time to get a shot off here.
Yeah, they added a 2nd after reviewing it. And Hofstra closes the half, 6 of its last 7 from the field. Pride end up blitzing the Camels.
Yeah.
And watch out for the Phoenix come conference tournament play.
Let's see if Campbell can get off to a better start. They had struggles all first half. This man right here, Dugan, is going to be a lot more aggressive, I would guess, as they run the first offensive set with him in mind.
Well, TJ Gadsden, who had missed a good chunk of the first half because of 2 personal fouls, all of 13 seconds into this second half, picks up a 3rd.
Yeah, not a good thing. He's been unable to get in the rhythm. Another tough contested shot for Campbell, and a nice job to start the half by Hofstra defensively.
Sinani missed it one end.
This is that high ball screen. Sorry about that. The high ball screen is a big part of Hofstra's offense when they have the spacing and the shooting. And want to get Aaron Guerin to get downhill.
Plotnikov missed the 3. Dugan, and let's see if that gets him going.
Well, it's a good sign, and it's also a tough cover for Graham to pull him away from the rim. That's the rim protection that they depend on. So if they can pull him away from the rim, that could be a good thing for Campbell as Dugan knocks down a nice 3 ball.
First make on his first three-point attempt for Colby Dugan, an almost 37% shooter from the outside. Plotnikov off a nice find from Aranguren. Here's another rebound from Graham, but threw it right to Speedy Claxton.
This Campbell team is going to play through two guys. They're going to play through Dugan and Sinani. And Dugan is the kind of guy that only needs to see the ball go through once to feel like he's in the zone.
Has been held in check for the most part. This time, no path to the lane, uses the left on the right-hand side.
Nice action, and Speedy Claxton not happy, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
how about you?
I'm with you. As much as it would be fun to see a little bit of variety, a little bit of parity.
Yeah.
I think you're probably going to see the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hopefully against my Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, that's another intriguing matchup. I'm kind of rooting for the Commanders, sorry, but
that's okay.
Jaden Daniels, man, he's special.
We'll be in the building tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Here's a set they run to get Arsenal going, Aranguren going. Kind of an Iverson cross screen action.
And Campbell making its way back. Offensive foul here on the moving screen.
And Graham is a physical player. Sometimes he gets himself in trouble when he doesn't, he's kind of leaned into it a little bit. And that's where they called the foul.
Second turnover for Michael Graham. Dugan going to go right at him on the turnaround. Tough shot, got it to go.
Well, that's his go-to move. He loves to drive right and then spin back left. You see the touch there, and Dugan looks like a different player in the second half, coming out much more aggressive. 7
points, and is the reason that this went from a 16-point game down to 9. He has all 7 here in the second half.
There's that high ball screen that they use for Aranguren to get going. Nice fake right here.
Plotnikov, nice job by Dugan to stay straight up. Aranguren rescues the possession. Shot clock back to 20 for the Pride. Davis with 10 to shoot. With the wheel into the bucket. Stops the 7-0 run.
Yep, and he knew he needed to get himself going, and he loves that spin back into the left. Nobody gets in front of him, and Davis having another solid game.
10 now for Cruz Davis, becomes the first member of the Pride in double figures this afternoon.
The mismatch here with Dugan.
Good help from Graham, but somebody's open. Dorsey, nice cut, Sinani. And a foul on the Pride.
Colby Dugan has come out with the mindset that he's got to score the ball. And he's played a lot more in attack mode. And here's Davis, the smooth lefty. Between him and Aranguren, they make up the bulk of the scoring for the Hofstra backcourt.
And all 7 of the points. Hofstra just has the Cruz Davis bucket. Dugan went off. Gregory in and out. And peddling the stationary bike back there.
Got to stay loose.
But nonetheless, good start for the Camels. And nice job by Kevin McGeehan and his staff to get him established. Aranguren bodied by Dorsey. Finds Davis, little 2-game. And rebound batted to Zerlini.
We got numbers here.
Dorsey's open, already has 1 triple. Give him a second. Here come the Camels.
Great ball movement by the Camels, and when Graham fell down, it was 5-on-4. Dorsey was left wide open, and we've seen his range as he knocks down his second 3 of the game.
And back inside single digits. Dorsey now with what's 9.
There's a set they run, a little screen, cross screen action.
Plotnikov, though, can't convert. Gregory down with the rebound, no numbers, but looking to push with Zerlini. Looked like Hofstra was going to run away with this game. After Dorsey could only, or excuse me, Gregory could only convert 1 of the 3 free throws to close the first half. And it's Sinani, another. 71% shooting here in the second half for the Camels.
There's that 1-2-2 pressure. They had some success late in the first half with this, and it drops back into a man-to-man.
And you can often hear Kevin McGeehan on the sideline yelling, ball pressure, again and again. Aaron Gurin skips it to the corner. Farmer's been big with what's 3 triples. Now has to be the bailout. Instead, it's Davis, and he'll oblige.
Big shot. Bailout 3 by Davis, who continues to make play after play. And that's a little deflating if you're Campbell, because you did a good job playing D for about 29 seconds.
By the way, they called one of those Campbell threes by Nolan Dorsey at 2. That's why we're at a 9-point game. They pushed the Hofstra lead back to 6 because that was a 2. And back over to the Pride. This goes.
I think they're going to reverse this. Go back to
there you go.
Campbell. Good job by the officials getting the call right.
Aided a little by the D3 transfer, Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini, nice find. Gregory open but can't cash. Davis down with what's the rebound. Graham had the big first half. Haven't heard from him much, though, here in the second. Guarded by Vanderheiden, got a hand in. Farmer this time off the bounce, across the body, nearly got it to go in a free throw line trip coming.
Farmer has been a nice added bonus. He's kind of like a microwave kind of player off the bench. 6'3" sophomore from Philly. Can score the ball, and they want him to be aggressive, and he's done that. He did a nice job in the first half with a couple threes, and now in the second half, he puts the ball on the floor. Versatile scorer.
And this Hofstra team that, excuse the pun, prides itself on its free throw shooting.
I like that.
Right behind Villanova in terms of being one of the best programs from the line in the last few years.
Well, they have the kind of team where they have a lot of good one-on-one attacking guards that can get to the rim. Farmer being one of them. And that means that they're going to get a lot of chances to get to the foul line. And you have guys like Gene Aranguren and Cruz Davis as well.
First points for Farmer that weren't from 3-point field goals. 11 now for Khalil Farmer. Roman Catholic kid from Philadelphia. Dugan back in the game after riding that stationary bike. And missed the turnaround. Yep, tough shot. Davis in go mode. Nice D by Dorsey. Shot clock cut in half here for Hofstra. Pride establishing Sunday, and again misses another short jump hook. Had one of those from point blank in the first half that didn't go down. Campbell, though, feeling a lot better, feeling like they're very much in this.
Well, they cut it to 5, and now they're down 11, and they've hit a little bit of a drought just out of this timeout.
Dorsey angling, couldn't get it. Sinani off the second chance. Credit Vanderheiden with the assist.
Yep, and that's why it's so important to close the possession out with a defensive rebound. Nice job keeping that ball alive with the tip out to Sinani.
10 now for Jason Sinani. Aranguren, soft touch over the front of the rim.
He is tough. I mean, he's a big guard that prefers to drive it hard and score in the paint, and can shoot over smaller defenders as he did there.
He's had to work a little harder today to get the ball, only now with 5. Dorsey lost that handle. They'll say Sunday touched it last. Caleb Zerlini returning for Campbell.
This Hofstra team clearly is more comfortable, it seems, on their home court. I had them earlier this year at Towson. They were up 18 in the first half and ended up losing that game. But at home, they look like a different team. They look more confident. And I think they've improved over the last couple of weeks, Matt, in terms of their connectiveness. Their guard play has been better.
Yeah, I mean, they hammered Delaware the other night, 93-68. Final time meeting on Long Island, at least, the CAA opponents. But 5 double-figure scores, 27 bench points.
Yeah, they were picked 4th in the league. And they've had some ups and downs, had a tough non-conference, which they always do. Started the season, won 4 straight, and then had a couple stumbles, and now they won their last 2 at home.
And meanwhile, for Campbell and Colby Dugan, they were picked 2nd to last in the league, just the second go-around here as members of the CAA coming over from the Big South. Whistle a foul here on the Pride. Middle of the pack.
They're going to have to check this because I don't think Dorsey is the one that should be shooting the foul shots. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now they're going to keep him. 72% on the year, Nolan Dorsey. Spent a little time at New Mexico and then was in the Patriot League at Holy Cross.
Rich and his dad. Oh no, you did not. His dad, his late father, Alan, and his sister Kaylin and brother Patrick all played college hoops.
And mom was a D1 field hockey athlete.
Yeah.
That got knocked out of bounds. That's in the nation, 16th in the country coming in, but only 3 of 8 today.
Yeah, that's a sore talking point for them, and certainly makes it harder, particularly on the road when things are kind of magnified. You don't have to be perfect, but you certainly got to take advantage of those free foul shots. Trying to double Cruz Davis and keep the ball out of his hands.
Plotnikov, Zerlini got a hand in the passing lane, but knocked it right back to him. Down to 3. And the bailout, Davis was backing up like that was going down.
Good defensive possession by the Camels.
And much better second half all the way around for Kevin McGeehan's guys. Dugan, that turnaround again, bread and butter.
Yeah, that's his go-to move. And they're running action for Dugan to get the ball on the move. Nice job making that. That was a tough shot over 7-footer Sunday.
And Aaron Gurin, other end, says, I haven't been involved enough.
Well, Aaron Gurin, we haven't talked a lot about him, but he's a big-time player. And I got to say that between him and Davis, they've got one of the best backcourts in the CAA.
Yeah, they certainly do. Sinani with the miss, and Zerlini offensive rebound fouled here by Farmer. Yeah, they've typically been a top 4 seed in the CAA tournament.
Aaron Gurin is a big 6'3", 6'4" guard that can play on or off the ball. He shoots almost 37% from 3 and can drive and beat his man one-on-one pretty much at will.
Yeah, wondering out loud, Tariq Turner, if they'll be top 4 again, get that double bye. A little early to tell, but
that's the goal of all these teams. Such a game breaker when you game changer when you get that double bye.
Sinani, shot clock violation here.
Aaron Gurin, the transfer from Iona. You see his stats. He's had some peaks and valleys. He had a little bit of a struggle midway through the season, but this last 10 games, he's been phenomenal. And the way him and Davis are playing together, they don't get in each other's way. They support each other. They play off of each other. I think that's a really tough matchup for opposing teams when both those guys are on their A game.
He's a bucket away from being in double figures for the 11th straight game. 8 today for Aaron Gurin. Here's his running mate, Davis, slipped back and whistle and a foul on Campbell.
And you know, Davis doesn't need a lot of space to get into the gaps, and he's so crafty and, you know, good with the ball. Splitting the doubles, splitting traps.
Aaron Gurin, the one to inbound. Out there with Sunday and Plotnikov, Davis, and Khalil Farmer, who's been big from the outside. A little one-on-one, Aaron Gurin drawing the foul.
And that's another thing we haven't seen a lot today, but Speedy really likes to play Aaron Gurin in the post, and he'll literally run sets for him where he's just backing this guy down and scoring or drawing a foul. He's got that kind of game where it's versatile.
I'm sitting next to a Big East guy. Guards in the league, they like to do that.
Well, I'm biased towards big guards. Being a former big guard myself, I do have a little bit more of a soft spot for a guard if he's 6'3", 6'4", or taller.
Hofstra turned it over. That went on Farmer. Double dribble on Khalil. Halfway point here in the second half. Matt Martucci and the former St. John's standout, Tariq Turner. What's a loaded Saturday here on CBS Sports Network. First of what is 5 games across the network. Wall-to-wall college basketball.
A lot of good games. It's a good day to just sit on your couch and just watch some hoops.
I might do that after I make the 2-hour drive home. Plotnikov just picked up his 3rd foul for Hofstra. Zerlini steps in. Sinani, Dorsey a little more open, and got the friendly bounce.
That sure was friendly, and Dorsey willed that one in, and he's had a good game as well. 13 points for the senior.
And here's Campbell again. Had it down to 7 earlier in this second half, but felt like that.
5, actually.
Yeah, 5 exactly. But inside of that, felt like that invisible force field. A nice turnaround. Aaron Gurin knows what his team needs.
Nice move by Aaron Gurin, getting into the paint. That's when he's at his best. It's very hard to stay in front of him. He's got a quick first step that allowed him to get in the paint and make the little runner.
10 now for the Venezuela native, Gene Aaron Gurin. In double figures for the 11th straight game, 18th time overall this year. Dorsey off the catch and another.
5 of 9. So that's a big difference right there and why they've been able to cut into this deficit.
Now all you need to do is make your free throws when you're called upon. And
yeah, that would help.
Maybe you're even more back in the game.
Let's see what Hofstra runs out of the timeout. They like that screen and roll. Trying to get a
Sunday separated from Vanderhooten.
Well, they went 4 out, 1 in with Sunday down low, and he's an easy target to get the ball to with his size at 7 feet. Nice job sealing his man and drawing the foul.
Eric Vanderhooten just looked at this crew and said, what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah, just pray and hope you can get some help.
Sunday just plowed over Gregory on the screen.
Nice
and now
pass.
good double. What a find. Plotnikov. Excellent cut.
Underrated part of Plotnikov's game is his cutting, especially off the ball. He cut right at the right time when the defense was turned and got wide open for a layup.
Dorsey feeling it. Down to a 5-point game.
Newsflash, Dorsey's hot. That's his 4-3. And he has been able to catch and shoot and get that ball released with the quick timing.
19 now for Nolan Dorsey, 2 shy of matching a season high set earlier this year at Morgan State, but only in double figures for the 6th time all year. Stepping up in conference play. Aaron Gurin, good D. Gregory got the steal. Here come the Camels, they're thirsty. And Gregory draws the foul.
Nolan Dorsey, the senior.
8 threes in the second half. They're 6 of 10 from the outside. And within 5 with Gregory going to the free throw line for the first time since under 12 minutes of the first half. But free throw line continues to be an Achilles heel. 6th miss.
It really has, and Gregory has had trouble.
He was a 78% shooter.
Yeah.
Funny things happen on the road, I guess.
Yeah.
Plotnikov with 8 to shoot. Farmer. And Plotnikov drawing the contact on Sinani.
Drawing fouls and snapping his neck back as if he got hit by a tractor. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, but he's done it a couple times. I hate to see it personally, but sometimes a little acting helps.
Hey, next month, my friend, it's screener season for the Academy Awards.
Yeah, and that was a legit foul right there on Plotnikov. That was a push, and he didn't have to act on that one. But with 7 minutes to go, if I'm a Hofstra, you got to continue to get Davis going. And they're trying to run some misdirection for Davis and Aaron Guerin.
And that's off the hands of Plotnikov.
It's too much of a bullet pass for Plotnikov. No way he was going to catch that. It's a big stop, but this is a big possession right here for both teams. If Campbell can get another clean shot, they'll be able to cut this game to 3 or 2.
Campbell's cut down on its turnovers here in the second half. Kick out, and Zerlini can't convert. That's chased out of bounds, and last touch by the Pride. A chance for Campbell to separate a little bit, jump into that next tier of the CAA standings. Hofstra trying to get back to 500 in the league.
Yeah, and I think you look at the league, and certainly UNCW and William and Mary up near the top. But these are two teams battling tooth and nail to move up those standings.
Yeah, what a week that the Seahawks ended up having. And speaking of having a good week, Dugan again.
Well, Dugan opens up the game for everybody else, and he's so good in that mid-post area. I think that Speedy may have to think about doubling Dugan because he's been able to do whatever he wants.
10th straight game. Excuse me, Tariq. 10th straight game in double figures for Kobe Dugan.
One possession game now.
10 to shoot for the Pride. Farmer got stripped. Zerlini. And honestly, kind of a heads-up play with only 3 on the shot clock. Threw it where he knew it would go out of bounds, and you're deep in the clock if you're Hofstra.
Yeah, nice job defensively by Campbell, and Kobe Dugan has been a different player in the second half, on his way to another big game. And with 3 seconds to go, not a lot of time, but enough time.
They're going to say that was considered a full change of possession?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they are. And Nolan Dorsey doesn't like it, but
that changes things.
Yeah, Zerlini did. And the referee's saying, hey, you did have a full hand on it.
And you notice they're putting Dorsey on Davis, a bigger, longer matchup at 6'5". They're hedging high on the ball screen.
Davis got around Dorsey, fell on the Holy Cross transfer. Front end of a 1-and-1 coming.
Nice job. You know, the thing about the ball screen is it's kind of it's a moment of truth point where you got to make a decision guarding him. Are you going to blitz him and hedge, or are you going to switch? And they decided to hedge. And Davis does a great job of reading the defense, and he can split those 2 defenders as he did there and draw a foul.
Pride had been 8 for 8. What a time for a miss.
I'm going right back to Dugan if I'm Campbell. He's been the hot hand.
Gonna go right in on Graham. There's that turnaround again. Got hit on the arm this time. And a chance to get this to a 1-point game.
And his go-to move, they have not been able to stop. He's driving right and spinning back left. It's kind of a fadeaway shot, and he has made a killing on that today. Now he goes to the line for 2.
Always sounds easier than it looks. Just cut him off when he spins.
Right. And defensively, the scouting report on him is you want to force him left. He likes to go right and spin back left, but if you force him left initially, then you may have a different result. They have not been able to do that today, Hofstra, and Dugan is taking advantage of that, scoring at will.
1 of 2 for Dugan, but only 4 of 11 for the Camels, for one of the nation's best free throw shooting teams. They force a turnover here. Chance to tie or get the lead.
See, when he drives left, he picks his dribble up.
Only lead for the Camels was 3-2 at 17:05 of the first half.
And the pressure's on Hofstra now. They were up 16 at the half, and now they're only up 2. It's clear that Campbell has the momentum. They're more connected. They're getting good shots in the half court. And they made a change defensively where they're putting a bigger opponent on Davis to keep him out of the paint on the defensive end.
Go right back to the well, and Dugan Arenguren doing a good job, but commits the foul, they'll say.
And Dugan smiles a little bit because he kind of baited Arenguren to that foul, and that's a veteran move by the sophomore. Kobe Dugan doesn't play like a sophomore. This is a young man who has got a lot of responsibility. Started 9 games as a true freshman, but he's made a big jump in his sophomore year, and he is their go-to guy who has a lot of responsibility.
1 of 2 would have been our first tie of the afternoon. Gadsden back in. We haven't seen him since the early portion of the second half. Got that 3rd foul early. Arenguren, kick out. Gadsden would have been a huge 3.
Can't get a better shot than that. Great job by Arenguren with the penetration.
Dugan with the jump hook, spun that off. Down to a 4.5-minute basketball game, folks.
Speedy wants them to play with pace and push the ball up the court.
Botnikov's been good all day. Bodied by Sinani. Good D. Davis, little 2-game with Graham. Good double by Dorsey, but got the jump hook.
That's a big-time shot by Graham to split the double. He almost got trapped, but he was able to avoid it, and good presence of mind to knock down the jump hook.
What a time for his first bucket of the second half. 10 now for Graham. On the turnarounds, they're leaning. That's a tough shot, went way up.
Defensively, Campbell staying in that man-to-man. We know that these guards of Hofstra want to drive and kick.
Arenguren down low, Graham too deep.
A lot of time left. 1 possession game.
Gregory and Zerlini, Sinani, Dorsey, and Dugan, who just got poked in the eye by Davis, and they'll call a foul. Now Colby Dugan will be on the, and then possession.
Above the neck in the head area, then they're going to call that. It wasn't intentional, or else that would have been an F2, but they have to call that. A flagrant 1 for the contact, hit Dugan in the eye, and that's his 4th foul for Cruz Davis.
Dugan's missed a couple of free throws. Campbell's missed 8 of them as a team. You wonder what this game would look like.
It's amazing how quiet this place is now compared to the first half.
Now, what's the difference? Excessive in nature, unnecessary contact. But you just get 2 shots in the ball versus the flagrant 2, a little more severe.
And Cruz Davis is guarding Dugan. I go right back to Dugan to try to get Davis in his 5th foul. I wouldn't want Davis on Dugan right now.
Campbell has not led since the 17:05 mark of the first half. Dugan looking for it and can't. Still a lid on the lead for the Camels.
For a high ball screen and some penetration. That's been Hofstra's bread and butter.
Arenguren trained to go right to the bucket.
Oh, it was the fake handoff that froze the defense for just a split second, and that's all that Arenguren needs to get into the paint. Good execution by the Pride.
Pride back up by 3, 12 for Arenguren. Dugan and Sinani. And whistle on a foul. And
That's
if
5
that's
on
Davis, that's it.
Arenguren with a nice fake dribble handoff, froze the defense, and then the body control and the concentration. More importantly, that is going to be Cruz Davis's 5th foul. He had 3 fouls that he would love to have back. He should not have fouled out if he would have been a little bit more aware on the defensive end. And now it's clear that the Camels are the team that has the momentum.
Dugan gets both. 17 second half points, 19 overall for Colby Dugan. Who came in averaging 20 in conference games. Has really picked it up. But not a whole lot of surprise for a guy that hung 32 on Carolina in Chapel Hill.
No, he's a big-time scorer that loves the big moment.
Aaron Gurren, speaking of big moments, he the pride of the shot clock down to 10.
Great help side defense by Campbell.
Plotnikov, big three!
I mean, you can't get much bigger than that. He knew he had to get a clean shot. The defender helped off a little bit too much, and great job getting the ball to him by Aaron Gurren.
11 for Plotnikov. Here comes the fourth, make it fifth member of the Pride in double figures. Dugan sniping and couldn't get the three.
And now Hofstra has a chance to extend this lead. Watch the pressure here. Two possession game. Gotta be strong with the ball.
Camels electing to play this out. 10 to shoot for Aaron Gurren. Trying to shake Dugan with the high arcer. And big defensive rebound to the Camels. Sinani, Gregory set up to cut it to one. Couldn't. Sinani, big offensive rebound and a free throw line trip.
It almost went in, but great hustle by Campbell getting that offensive rebound. Here's that big time three. Dugan helped off a little bit too much, and Plotnikov was just praying for the ball. Big time corner shot by German Plotnikov.
Sinani is yet to go to the line. A cooler customer than most of the Camels today, 79%. Good for top 10 in the league.
Sinani, the 6'3" senior guard, played football in high school as a quarterback, had a nice career in high school.
A 3-year starter.
Yep.
1 of 2 though here. Would have cut it down to a bucket. Instead, it's a 3-point game.
So if you're Campbell, you don't have to foul. It's a 9-10 second differential. You just got to get a stop. And if you're Hofstra, you want to get something going to the basket, you're in the bonus.
Both Robinson and Gregory need to be careful. Shot clock inside 10, inside 20 seconds to go. Robinson has been quiet, can't convert, but big offensive rebound, Gadsden.
That's huge.
That got tipped. 6 seconds left. Campbell, Sinani for the tie, yes!
Wow. Big time shot. Across
the way back from 16 down, but hey, we still have 2.4.
Good full court pressure here. They're going to try to get something going to the basket.
Aaron Gurren, desperation, and Graham got a rebound.
Our position just really, carry them to this point right now where we're going to an extra session.
That Illinois State Bradley game underway, available streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN. And we'll get you out there as soon as this one concludes. Dorsey starts this overtime with another three.
This is great execution. Great pass, and Dorsey continues to shoot the ball lights out.
Career high, 22, 13 coming in the second half for Nolan Dorsey. Previous career high was 21, set at Morgan State earlier this year. Hard to believe this was a 16-point game at half. Johnson, good bucket. And picked a good time for his first field goal. Keyshawn Johnson on the board. Hofstra to within 1.
Gutsy drive by the sophomore. Knows he needs to step up with Cruz Davis. Done for the game with the foul out.
Dugan had the big second half, trying to extend it into the extra period. Rising for the triple, halfway down, couldn't stick.
Now let's see if they can get the ball back to, not back to it, but get Aaron Gurren the ball. He's their go-to guy. Him or Plotnikov are the two guys that I would be looking to get a touch here.
Dorsey trying to lock him up. 12 to shoot for the Pride. Aranguren. Dorsey with the body. Got the step through but left it short. There's Graham, shot clock violation.
Excellent job by Campbell. Not falling for the shot fake, staying poised defensively and causing an expired shot clock. Great set here by Dorsey with the flare.
By the way, lost in the shuffle of this overtime. Graham now with 19 rebounds, which is a career high.
Big time block by Plotnikov.
Has made defensive play after defensive play for the Pride. Graham on the drop off. They're back in front.
And it's a nice drop off pass and a nice ghost screen slip by Graham.
63-62 in favor of the Pride. Sinani, and puts the Camels back up.
I mean, you talk about poise and just gutsy play. Sinani has been that.
17 now.
Shot.
12 coming in the second half and the overtime. Down to a little over 2 minutes here in the extra period. Matt Martucci, Tariq Turner. Little Saturday in the CAA sandbox. What a start to the day. What a drop off, Gadsden.
That's just great basketball. The off the ball cut. The defense lost sight of Gadsden. And a nice pass by Plotnikov showing that versatility. What a game we got here.
Unlikely contributions, at least today. 4 of Hofstra's 6 points here in the extra period by 2 guys who had scored. And Robinson and Gadsden.
Sometimes the game calls for you to step out of your role and just be whatever it takes to win.
Gregory, nice find. Another 3, in and out for Sinani. Graham down with a 21st rebound.
Set it up, slow it down. Get the ball to your scorers.
You doing anything? Can we go a couple more?
No, I'm a little busy now. You know, overtime, big time CAA game on CBS. Nowhere else I want to be.
6 to shoot, Robinson.
Didn't love the shot. Didn't love it. I'm not
out.
just saying it because he missed it, but just get the ball to your primary playmakers. Aranguren and Plotnikov or Graham.
52 to play, timeout. Now 1 tie, 3 lead changes. Here in the overtime, more than what we had in the first and second half combined. Dugan gets a foul call, I don't know.
That looked clean. That looked clean as a whistle. Gadsden got a piece of it. We'll take a look at the replay. That was clean.
Yeah, it was.
Dugan knew it. He kind of winked and smiled. Like, hey, I got away with one there. But his aggressiveness has given him the benefit of the doubt. And that's the good thing about a player like that. Speedy obviously not happy.
They earn every dollar for the angst. Dugan gets both.
And they're going to show some pressure. I like the decision to press. Not to steal the ball, but just not to allow Hofstra to get the ball up easy. You got a 16-second shot differential here. So Campbell will get the ball again.
Aranguren. Good double, yeah. Dorsey. And timeout for Speedy Claxton. Yeah.
They got to
have some guys that can knock down those shots. Haven't heard from Khalil Farmer in a little while. Does have the 3 threes. Plotnikov, that got knocked out of bounds. Zerlini, who has just had a knack for getting hands in passing lanes.
He's got Lauren the rebound and the floor leadership. And that's allowed Campbell to have a better opportunity to double Aranguren.
He'll go right downhill, right to the basket. And free throws coming for a chance to tie.
This is just good basketball, good decision. Get the ball to one of your best players, just let him make a play. And he is excellent at getting downhill. No help side D there as he beat Dorsey on the dribble. And 2 big foul shots here for Gene Aranguren.
Well, and to add another chapter to this story, he has not been to the line today. Pride is
76% foul shooter on the season.
They're 8 of 9, make it 9 of 10. But this is the big one.
Both teams have a timeout left. If he makes this, I'm going to guess that Campbell's going to call a timeout. If he misses it, he does not.
Too savvy to miss. Got them both. Timeout Camels.
This is some game.
Second half comeback spearheaded in large part by Dugan, the inbounder Dorsey, and this guy with the ball.
We're going to set a high ball screen with Dugan and Sinani, the 2 best players.
Final 6 seconds. Dugan. 3 seconds. The turnaround for the win. At least the lead.
And it's been the same play over and over and over for Dugan. Hard drive right, spin, pull up. Was going to be out of the game in the first half when he took that shot to the back. Went on the exercise bike, went to the locker room, loosened up, and came back out like Superman with a potential game winner. They're going to run the same play, try to get the ball down.
Aranguren, it's short. Campbell back from 18 down for the first sweep of the season in CAA play.